Sonam Wangchuk has finally ended his hunger strike, but as a UPSC aspirant, what should you know about it? Welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Divya Kavatra, and we're discussing regarding hunger strikes in India. That is the complete history of major hunger strikes, pre-independence as well as post-independence. All right, one by one, let's find out when have we used this hunger strike, when have people, civilians used the hunger strike to actually frame policies to help government understand the needs of the people, right? Let's see. So first of all, when we talk about hunger strike, let's understand the concept, philosophy or the constitution behind this. If we talk about the philosophical spectrum, it comes from Gandhian Satyagraha, right? Fasting was used as a tool by Gandhi for self-purification, moral suasion, soul force to awaken the oppressor's conscience. They were like, through this, we are trying to awaken your conscience so that you understand what is right and wrong and you do right by us. That's right. Then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's critique was there. He warned against the unconstitutional coercive methods in independent democratic India and always said that these methods should not be used. He was strictly against it and gave the term grammar of anarchy, right? He termed them as grammar of anarchy when legal remedies exist. When you have legal remedies, why go to such lengths? Instead, use that, right? Exactly. These were the views. But in constitution also, if we talk about it in the constitutional dimensions, what does it say? So number one thing, Article 19(1)(a)(b), it protects the peaceful protest and dissent as fundamental right under reasonable restriction, right? But remember, it is under reasonable restriction. Yes, it allows us to have an option of peaceful protest, whether it is through hunger or whether it is through banner, but still we have the right to peaceful protest, but it is not unconditional, right? It can be curtailed, it can be contained in any condition under reasonable restrictions or circumstances, right? Then we have Article 21 versus force feeding. It balances the individual bodily autonomy against the state's constitutional duty to preserve life and medical ethics guidelines, right? So you have to protect the rights also, but also you have to measure the medical guidelines. This is the constitutional dimension regarding hunger strike or hunger or the right to protest altogether, right? And the different views against and for the philosophy that are used by different leaders like Gandhi and Ambedkar. To understand the history of hunger strike, we begin with Gandhi and we begin with the Ahmedabad mill strike, that is 1918. That was the first hunger strike of Gandhi in India under his experiments of Satyagraha. The three primary experiments that Gandhi did the moment he came back after 1915, he went on an India tour till 1917. He was roaming around, and as suggested by his political guru, that is Gokhale, he said that you don't take participation in any of the events, you just observe. But Gandhi used some opportunities to test fire the different methods of Satyagraha, like non-cooperation, like ahimsa, like Satyagraha, like using the methods of non-violence, using the methods of non-cooperation, using the methods of hunger strike also, right? So this was one of the incident where he used hunger strike, and in that, as we know, it was first hunger strike in India during conflict between textile mill owners and workers over the withdrawal of plague bonus. The demand, what was the demand? Workers requested 35% wage hike so that they can cope up with the inflation. Mill owners initially offered 20%, right? Gandhi fasted for 3 days to resolve the worker morale fatigue and maintain non-violent commitment, right? It should be non-violent. As does the constitution say, you should not go violent. You have the right to protest, but not violent protest. Outcome, mill owners agreed, resulting a full 35% wage increase for the workers. This was a successful take on the hunger strike started by Gandhi. But as Ambedkar said, when you have laws, this was the time when we didn't have the law. When you have the law, don't resort to it. That is Ambedkar's point of view on this, right? Next one, we had Lahore jail hunger strike in 1929 when Bhagat Singh was sent to jail. He didn't just sit there thinking that, oh, my revolutionary career is over. He went there, he found some problems, collaborated on them and started a strike to actually get people the rights they deserve in the jail as well. Because in the jail also the treatment of European people, European prisoners and Indian prisoners was very different. The differentiation was so stark that he could not resist and he went on a strike to revolt against it and get the prisoners their right. So here 116-day historic struggle went on, 116 days historic struggle. Bhagat Singh, Bhutakeshwar Dutt, HSRA comrades, they launched an indefinite hunger strike demanding political prisoner status in Lahore jail. They said that first of all our prisoner status should be increased and we should be made political prisoners. They have different rights, they have different provisions, and plus the life conditions of the prisoners should also improve, right? The demands were equal treatment between European and Indian prisoners, hygienic food, books, access to newspaper. This should be done for every individual equally, be it European or Indian, right? Then in terms of martyrdom, we see the revolutionary Jatin Das. He died after 63 days of fasting, inspiring nationalistic resurgence. Because of the death, nation united against a common cause and brought down the result. And in this, Jatin Das died after 63 days, just mind it, 63 days of hunger strike, right? Yeah, glorious and sad history altogether. Then came the Poona pact and Yerwada fast. Gandhi was in Yerwada jail at the time when the Poona pact was being signed. And on that note, Ramsay MacDonald came up with Communal Award of 1932 that was clearly to create differences in India, a clear policy of divide and rule, and Gandhi was strictly against it while some other classes wanted to sign it because it was serving their interest and it was right on their part. But at the same time, Gandhi said that look at the bigger picture. It is dividing us. If it is dividing us, it cannot be good in the long term, right? That's why we should oppose it regarding the separate electorate for depressed classes. And he said that if you go forward with this, I will stay on fast until death, right? That's when he adopted this, and he said that it would permanently divide Hindu society. I cannot allow it. And Ambedkar's stand was that he asked for guaranteed political safeguard and independent voice for Dalits. That's what he wanted. He said, I don't care about separate electorates. I don't care about anything else. All I care about is you get these rights. You get these rights for them. If you do that in any other way, that is fine too. That is fine too by me. So resolution was the Poona Pact was signed in September 1932, abandoned separate electorates but doubled the reserved seats for Dalits from 71 to 148. And that is how Gandhi said, you give them representation, give them more representation, but dividing them is no solution because ultimately society will look at them as a separate entity and that will only increase their separatist feelings, right? So instead you should unite them and make them feel like one. The next strike that we had, these are the pre-independent strikes that we had, pre-independent fast. The features, as we can see, Ahmedabad Mill by Mahatma Gandhi, 35% wage increase, first hunger strike, established satyagraha as industrial disputes. Lahore jail fast, 63-day martyrdom and opinion against colonial jail brutality. Yerwada, again Mahatma Gandhi, led to Poona Pact, and then Quit India fast. Lastly came our very famous Quit India fast, where Mahatma Gandhi, protesting the British blame for Quit India violence, 21-day fast in Aga Khan Palace, galvanized international diplomatic pressure, right? And this was another fast of pre-independence structures done in 1943. After that, let's go to the post-independence hunger strikes that have taken place in India. The first one, the very first and the famous one that we have is the formation of Andhra state for a demand of separate linguistic state of Andhra. Separate linguistic state, mind it, we discovered that, okay, linguistic states are not a good option to go with. That's why the demand was being rejected. But at the same time, there was deepened demand regarding linguistic separation of Andhra state. So a protest started regarding that. And in that protest, we had an activist, that is Potti Sriramulu, fasted demanding separate Telugu speaking state from Madras state. Okay, he wanted a separate state from Madras and said, let's call it Andhra. But here also the tragic martyrdom came on December 15, 1952. He passed away fasting for a very long time, and the protest and unrest spread across the region. And because of that, government conceded and framed the first linguistic state of India, that is Andhra. The first linguistic state of India, that is Andhra, in October 1953. They had to give up and ultimately give them the state, right? Long-term reform was, this sparked the appointment of the State Reorganization Commission, who would then decide whether we can do this for other states or not and how we should proceed regarding this, right? This is the incident that also led to the formation of Fazl Ali Commission, state reorganization, multiple commissions that we had and multiple committees also. Clear? That was the first one after independence, and a very strong one that also led to the martyrdom of Potti Sriramulu. Next one we have AFSPA and 16-year fast by Sharmila. World's longest fasting. World's longest fasting, 2000 to 2016. Irom Chanu Sharmila, the Iron Lady of Manipur. What do we call her? The Iron Lady of Manipur fasted for nearly 16 years. Now, fasting is not like giving up everything, right? It has different scenarios and ideas. So, mark that, all right. So, in the Malom massacre, where 10 civilians were killed, in a Malom massacre happened in 2000, 10 civilians were killed in Manipur by security forces themselves. So, the core demand was complete repeal of AFSPA from here, saying that they were here to protect us. They were here to manage and have a decorum. If they are the ones attacking us, what kind of protection are you giving? So, instead, repeal it altogether. We will protect ourselves on our own. So, this demand was here. State intervention came. She was arrested and force-fed through a nasal tube. When you search her pictures, you will find a nasal tube, okay? Right on her nose, you'll see a nasal tube. She was force-fed under IPC 309 and sparked debates on security of human rights also, right? The fasting continued, and as you know, the status of AFSPA, right? Then we have anti-corruption and Jan Lokpal, a 13-day fast at Jantar Mantar. Social activist Anna Hazare, you remember Anna Hazare, yes, led to the India against corruption movement. There was a movement, India against corruption, right? Demand was enactment of powerful independent ombudsman law, that is Jan Lokpal bill. You come up with the Jan Lokpal bill who will cater to the corruption of the officers, of the ministers, of the administration, of the executive, of the legislature, everybody, right? Mass awakening came, mobilized unprecedented civil society. Everybody started participating. A large-scale civil society movement it became. Youth rallies were there. National media was covering it. It was a very large-scale event, right? Leveraging the result, Parliament passed resolution in principle. In principle, Lokpal and Lokayukt Act. But there was a concept of leader of opposition. And since India did not have a leader of opposition at the time, you know, to be a leader of opposition, you have to have a certain level of votes. Even if you don't win the elections, you have to have certain number of seats to be the leader of opposition. Yes? Tell me in the comment section how many seats or what percentage of the votes do you need to actually become a leader of the opposition. Yes? Tell us in the comment section. And that's why there was no leader of opposition, so this could never be enacted. Clear? That's why we say it was in principle and not in practicality. Then the contemporary climate and eco-fast. Sonam Wangchuk Ladakh fast for the climate under the 6th schedule protection for the climate. He has been saying that safeguard the fragile Himalayan ecology, constitutional democracy. You do that, and for that he has been fasting. Then G.D. Agarwal Swami Sanand, 2018 111-day hunger strike demanding uninterrupted ecological flow, that is Aviral Dhara, and protection of river Ganga. He sacrificed his life. He died in the fasting. 111 day, like who would survive? So obviously we see 65 days, 63 days, that also took a life. So 111 days would obviously do that, right? Yeah, the protection of river Ganga. Clear? Yeah. And now, currently, we are very well aware for education, for the paper against the paper leak and the entire education system altogether, especially in Ladakh region, especially in the newly constituted UTs of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. He's been focusing on that. He's been asking for education development and transparency and accountability there. And he was fasting again. And today itself, he has opened up his fast, talked to the delegates, and now they are discussing as how to move forward with that, right? Exactly. If you compare the pre-independence and post-independence hunger strikes, you'll be able to find that the primary target authority, foreign unaccountable colonial British rule, were the authorities. Now democratically elected state and union governments are there. Core objective, anti-imperialism, prisoner dignity, socio-religious reforms. These were the core objectives. Now it is linguistic statehood, anti-corruption, human rights, ecology. These have become the central theme. Moral legitimacy, universally it was viewed as a legitimate tool against alien subjugation. But right now, it is debated because the moral expression versus coercive weapon overriding the parliament are the two opinions that are debating. Institutional response, pre-independence, jail force feeding, suppression, occasional political compromise, and post-independence hunger strike, state force feeding under IPC 309 still going on, and legislative actions and policy commissions, right? These are the results that are coming forward, and this is the story of hunger strike in India, how it is still going on and how the instruments are viewed in current democratic political system. Is that clear? I hope you understand that. This is important because the constant topic is going on, and apart from the political chaos that is there, as a UPSC aspirant, you must know the history of it altogether because it becomes very important. Yeah, I hope this is clear to you. Yes, this was helpful. Sorry. All right, that was our session regarding hunger strikes, and I hope you remember the question that we asked and give us your answer in the comment section. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.